Once again, Jewish people and the State of Israel face false accusations, this time claims of genocide. But what does genocide truly mean, and how does history define it? The word genocide carries tremendous moral weight. It was coined in 1944 by Polish-Jewish lawyer Raphael Lemkin in his book Axis Rule in Occupied Europe. Lemkin was a survivor of Nazi persecution and lost family members during the Holocaust. He created the word to describe the deliberate mass destruction of national, ethnic, racial, or religious groups. Here's how the UN Genocide Convention defined it in 1948. Genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. Note the key words, intent and as such. This means targeting people simply because of who they are, not what they've done. War is tragic. Civilian deaths are heartbreaking. But war itself is not genocide. Here are 5 reasons why Israel is not committing genocide. 1. Israeli forces are not targeting innocent Palestinians. Their targets are Hamas terrorists. John Spencer has been embedded with Israeli forces 4 times since October 7th. Spencer is a 25-year infantry veteran and urban warfare expert. In a New York Times piece, he said that he has not seen any evidence of genocidal intent. Instead, he has witnessed soldiers taking dangerous risks to avoid harming civilians. Missions were delayed because children were nearby, and troops were ordered not to return fire when civilians might be harmed. 2. Israel can wipe out Gaza entirely, but it doesn't do so. Journalist Bret Stephens asks an important question. If Israel truly intended genocide, why isn't the death count vastly higher? Israel has the military capacity to inflict greater destruction. They could bomb without warning, yet instead they routinely send evacuation notices through flyers and text messages. Israel could avoid putting their own soldiers at risk, yet hundreds have died in ground operations designed to minimize civilian casualties. Let's put the Israel-Hamas war in perspective. The Korean War killed 2 million civilians, 54,000 per month. The fight against ISIS leveled entire cities. In 2016 to 2017, the United States helped Iraq retake Mosul from ISIS, killing an estimated 11,000 civilians over 9 months. None of these were called genocide because the intent wasn't to destroy a people group for who they were. 3. Hamas's war strategy pins the blame and responsibility of Gazans' death on Israel. What makes Gaza unique is how Hamas chooses to fight. In Ukraine, when Russia attacks, civilians go underground while the military stays above to fight. In Gaza, it's reversed. Hamas hides in tunnels while using civilians as human shields above the ground. These aren't accidents. They are war crimes designed to maximize civilian casualties for propaganda purposes. This is why, even though Israel isn't targeting civilians, Hamas hides amongst their own people, ensuring a higher number of civilian casualties when Israel engages in battle. 4. Despite Israel being at war, they still supply aid to Gaza. They are trying to preserve human lives. Spencer notes Israel has delivered more humanitarian aid to an enemy population during wartime than any military in history. An estimate of over 1.8 million tons of aid, supporting hospitals, coordinating vaccines, and facilitating medical evacuations. This isn't the behavior of a military committing genocide. And 5. When it comes to genocidal intent, the evidence shows that Hamas has genocidal intent. The war is a response to Hamas's unprovoked attack against Israel on October 7th. Hamas illegally entered Israel, breaking into homes and civilian communities to rape, kill, and torture innocent people. Their target was the Jewish people. Their recordings have been made public. Here's one audio recording by a Hamas terrorist boasting to his family about killing the Jews.
الو
يابا طبعا انا قاعد بكلمك من جوبا بسيم. افتح الواتس تبعه قول له وين شوف كيف القتلى، شوف كيف قتلت بيدي يابا، ابنك قتل يهود، هاي دخلوا فلسطين يابا.
الله اكبر، ربنا يحميك يا رب، ربنا يحميك يابا، ربنا يحميك
قاعد
يابا.
بكلمك من جوال يهوديه قتلتها وقتلت جوزها،
الله
عطوا بيدي
اكبر،
يابا،
الله
قتلت
اكبر ولله
عشرة
الحمد. الله
يابا،
اكبر
عشرة
ولله
بيدي
الحمد.
قتلت.
You can visit rememberingoctober7.com to learn more. Hamas's founding charter explicitly states, Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it, just as it obliterated others before it. This is the goal of Hamas, to destroy Israel, eliminate all Jewish people, and replace them with an Islamic Palestinian state. Based on the definition of genocide, Hamas's founding charter and intent is genocidal in nature. And we are now seeing how global sentiment is shifting against Israel and the Jewish people. If we look at history, the Holocaust didn't happen overnight. It was nurtured through decades of prejudice, accusations, libels, and negative stereotypes, lies about the Jewish people, which culminated in a deep hatred and an agreement that the Jewish people should be exterminated. So how is this different to what is happening now? By misusing the term genocide, the media is sowing outrage and hatred against Israel and the Jewish people. Now, there has been less support for the existence of a Jewish state, fueling a new wave of anti-Semitism that targets not just Israeli policy, but any Jewish person who supports Israel's right to exist. The war in Gaza is tragic. Every civilian death is heartbreaking. There are legitimate questions about tactics and strategy. But tragedy is not genocide. War crimes by individual soldiers are not genocide. And Israel's justified anger over October 7th's barbaric attacks is not genocidal intent. We want the war to end as quickly as possible. And we can keep debating about how it should end. Yet to use the term genocide, originally coined to describe the Holocaust, as something Israel is perpetrating against Gaza, is a cruel and ironic fallacy. As we produce this video, there is currently a peace deal that is being worked through by the two sides of this conflict. And as always, we are prayerful and hopeful that this will lead to a lasting peace. But claims of genocide against Israel didn't start on October 7th. People have made this accusation from before this time, and sadly, it is likely that people will continue to use this word to prejudice people against Israel and the Jewish people. Should peace prevail, and we hope it does, we hope that the material in this video serves you well in understanding the nature of the conflict, understanding the misuse of rhetoric, and advocating for the Jewish people with your friends and loved ones. Your voice matters. By liking, subscribing, and sharing this video, you help spread truth, fight ignorance, and strengthen the stand against anti-Semitism. Remember, context matters, intent matters, and truth matters.